What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at this week's edition of the Red Brand, as well as some of the latest news, including Kacy Gets Caught in 4K, Charly Caruso's Naughty Slip, WWE Censors Nia Jax, They Want Cardi B, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we aren't recapping the matches, but just providing you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, here comes the money. The return of Shane McMahon was a pleasant surprise and a reminder how to use him in small doses, just like any good seasoning. Fans enjoy seeing Shane O'Mac, but regrettably the WWE often books him to the point where he outstays his welcome. Having McMahon reveal the men's Elimination Chamber match was a way to make the announcement seem extra special, as opposed to just having the announcers mention it or having Adam Pearce let the fans know. No offense to Pearce, but he's not exactly brimming with charisma or excitement. Well, I can talk. Number 2, Nia Jax's career-making moment. Fans watching Nia Jax vs Lana's table match witnessed one of wrestling's most unintentionally funny moments when Nia, Mrs. Potato Head Jax, missed a leg drop on the mat apron and sold it like she sat on a bicycle without a seat. She oversold the pain, shouting, "My hole," a moment that now has fans wondering if Jax has stumbled onto a career-making moment, much like Steve Austin's Austin 316 comment. While something this ridiculous would normally go in the bad section, the fact that it happened with Jax makes it good, as it epitomizes everything wrong with her in-ring work and performances. As much as we don't want to think of it, a My Whole t-shirt seems inevitable and will undoubtedly join Vince Love's Rooster in the Wrestle Crap Hall of Fame. Number 3, the greatest Elimination Chamber match of all time? Could the WWE Universe be in for a great men's Elimination Chamber match? While there have been some outstanding matches in the past, the WWE is bringing in 5 former world champions to battle WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. Shane McMahon announced that Jeff Hardy, Sheamus, AJ Styles, The Miz, and Randy Orton will step into the chamber, a situation that should feature some excellent in-ring action, as well as tell the story of Drew McIntyre trying to beat the odds and retain his title. Number 4, wrestling's Renaissance Man. Now, we're not talking about the traditional Renaissance man who is well versed in various arts, scientists, and such, but the man who has created a career renaissance for Bobby Lashley, a talented performer who up until last year was languishing in a number of mediocre and often meaningless programs. The Renaissance Man is of course MVP, who has helped provide the catalyst for Lashley transforming from a run-of-the-mill big man into a monster heel who routinely demolishes his opponents. He's done well helping Cedric Alexander step up a notch and in bringing in Shelton Benjamin back into the spotlight, but it's his work with Lashley that shows how much a good manager can help. MVP's subtle working of Lashley and focusing his anger into slaughtering his foes on the way to success has been nothing short of brilliant. As much as we're looking forward to Keith Lee vs Matt Riddle vs Lashley Elimination Chamber, we're hoping Lashley emerges victorious, continuing his phenomenal push. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, an odd opportunity. As noted earlier, this year's men's Elimination Chamber should be a fantastic match, but one person's presence is kinda puzzling, namely The Miz, a man who currently holds the Money in the Bank briefcase and whose presence in the chamber seems redundant. While the WWE was likely hard-pressed to find 5 world champions, it's comical seeing someone with a win-loss record like The Miz getting a shot at the WWE Championship, as well as the fact that he could just get a championship match at any time. Why go into the chamber? The same kinda goes for Jeff Hardy, who lasted, a minute in the Royal Rumble and now he's a number 1 contender? Makes no sense. Number 2, Asuka aggravation. Asuka fans have been aggravated by the WWE's latest mishandling of the Raw Women's Championship. Now, while this is speculation, we can't help but see Lacey Evans walk out of the pay-per-view with the Raw Women's Championship for no reason other than to make Charlotte vs Lacey at WrestleMania 37 a title match. This is the latest example of how Asuka has been a placeholder champion and a virtual non-entity. Whether it's a lack of title defenses or the lack of quality opponents, the WWE has done the Empress of Tomorrow and the WWE Universe a disservice by not using her time as champion to help get her over and to build new stars in the women's division. They had a chance to do a dream match between Asuka and Shayna Baszler, as well as give new single star Peyton Royce a program, but they wasted it. Number 3, a perilous possibility. Is the WWE teasing a potential Shane McMahon vs Drew McIntyre match? Anyone who watched Raw last night had to ask the question when Drew and Shane had a brief backstage exchange, with Drew asking Shane why he didn't give him a heads up about the Elimination Chamber match. Did the WWE tease this future fight, or are we getting paranoid due to the WWE's bad booking? And number 4, where was Alexa? Last week's Raw saw another great cliffhanger with Alexa Bliss showing up to haunt Randy Orton, so naturally fans were wondering why there was no follow-up. Unfortunately, the answer is likely due to Bliss having to deal with an alleged stalker, and she may have been given time off to deal with the situation. If that wasn't the case, they missed out on a good opportunity to keep building up on the program between Randy Orton and the demonic duo of The Fiend and Bliss. There was nothing downright ugly about last night's Raw, as it was a solid show with some much needed build-up for the Elimination Chamber, which is less than 2 weeks away. They also put on an entertaining show with a good match between Lee and Riddle, as well as some matches we've seen before such as Styles vs Hardy and Orton vs McIntyre, but they were still fun to watch. But what did you guys think of Raw? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Kacy Caught in 4K. Former NXT superstar Kacy Catanzaro was recently caught on video enjoying a night out with a large group of friends. For some fans, this presents a problem as she wasn't wearing a face mask, nor was she practicing social distancing, a situation which could lead to her inadvertently, some might say recklessly, exposing her to other people, including her boyfriend Ricochet. Ringside News noted that a fan account called Charlotte Empire tweeted out a video of Catanzaro out in Tampa. Nobody in her party was wearing a mask, but they had big smiles on their face. The caption of the video said, "If she don't stay her ass at home," along with a non-smiling emoji. On one hand, it appears that no patron in the facility was wearing a mask, which is normal when you're sitting down in a restaurant to eat or drink. However, her lack of social distancing is disturbing, considering she could become infected without even knowing, then transmit the disease after. Some fans took to social media to blast her behavior, posting various memes and criticizing her behavior. This one's our favorite though.
What's going on, everyone? I know that it is a weird time right now, so I just wanted to hop on here and give a few tips. The first would be make sure you're following the CDC guidelines and that you're very aware of what's happening in your area. So for me right now, we are not supposed to leave our homes unless it's for something essential, like
Next up, Charly Caruso's naughty slip. Yeah, during this week's Raw Talk, R-Truth managed to come up with a new nickname for Damian Priest, that being DP. Well, Charly Caruso asked, what does DP stand for? Well, R-Truth obviously replied Damian Priest.
DP, I like that.
Yeah.
DP.
Yeah. Damian Priest.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I like it. There's a nice ring to it. DP.
It's easy. She get confused sometimes.
No.
Yeah, we're pretty sure she thinks it stands for Damian Priest, right? Next up, WWE Want Cardi B. The WWE is looking to add some star power to WrestleMania 37, and this could lead to Cardi B showing up in the WWE. WWE President Nick Khan recently spoke with Forbes' Alfred Kanuwa about the WWE's efforts to do cross-promotion with hip-hop artists such as Bad Bunny and Cardi B. As noted by Forbes, WWE's success with Bad Bunny, whose merchandise continues to move units on WWEshop.com, could lead to the promotion to work alongside other hip-hop artists like Cardi B, who recently tweeted about WWE after being name-dropped on Raw. Khan confirmed that WWE does indeed have eyes for Cardi B. What do you guys think of Cardi B being involved in WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Nia Jax Censored. Last but not least, Nia Jax's hilarious My Hole segment during her tables match against Lana became a viral hit. Ringside News reported My Hole was trending on Twitter all night after the match. Tons of fans commented and memes sprung up like wildfire. This was certainly a moment on Raw that captured a lot of attention. However, it looks like whatever momentum she got may be ending, as comicbook.com is reporting that the YouTube clip from the match has nixed Nia's naughty comment. Additionally, Hulu's Raw replay doesn't even include the match. But there you have it, folks. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly from this week's Raw, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.